Hello everyone and welcome back to Herodotown. Uh, let's take a look here, okay? I can't zoom in. I don't think I can make this any bigger for you. I'm sorry about that. Herodotown. We have 38,000 food. We're in year 30. 33,000, sorry. 33,000 food. We have 200 tools, 200 clothes. Okay? We only have 27 iron. This is our status. We have 4.5 health. We have 4.5 happiness. We have no specific goals in this 2 years. We're going to play for 2 years. We are attempting in this save to follow a historical timeline. Okay? We're following a historical timeline. We started in hunter-gatherer society. We are now in what I would call the medieval era, which is why we have these buildings that look roughly medieval. All right? So our goal over these next 2 years, like I said, we don't have a specific goal. We want to stay alive. We want to continue receiving goods. We already have broccoli, so we don't need that. I'm actually moderately interested in getting the oats, though, because then we can have another grain to turn into flour, or I believe you can also make ale out of oats. So I'll try to remember to recap our progress at the end of the episode. I know most of the time I'm in a tizzy by then, but I'll try to do that to make it easier for people who are following the series. We have 65 families and 78 homes. That's interesting. So what do we have? What I meant to check was in the inventory. I want to find something that'll let us trade away. So it won't let us trade food. We've got tons of lumber. So let's trade away some lumber. We want to get to this 4,000 mark. So what we're going to do is come down here to lumber, and we're going to put in 500. We want 500 lumber. So that'll give us a trade value of 2,000. And now because we have all these extra laborers, we're going to put 2 extra people in here. So they'll get the lumber from the closest place they can find it, which will probably be over here. And they'll bring it over, and we'll make this trade for oat seeds. I know this game can kind of devolve into lots of trading, so I'm going to try as much as I can to keep it reasonable. So here at 250, that'll be 3,000, and then once it bumps up to 500, that's what we wanted. 4,000. Okay, so now we have to be careful to come back in here and put lumber back to 0, or else they'll keep bringing lumber, and we don't want that. We'll bump this back down so those people can be laborers again. We'll dismiss this merchant. Now, since we just added oats, what I like to do is find, so we just added tomatoes, and now we just added oats. And I don't like to put 2 of the same crop beside each other, like here and here, because then if one gets a disease, the other one might get it as well. So what I'll do is I'll come up here and I'll check this rotation: pumpkin, bean, rice, broccoli, turnips, field onions, wheat, field onions. So since we have field onions and field onions, we'll go ahead and switch this one to oats also, because we want 2 grain. Definitely want 2 grain there. So this tiny mine is doing okay. The only bad thing I see about the tiny mine is there doesn't seem to be any way to deepen it. I think once it's done, it's done. So it's good to get stuff out of it, but this one, the tunnel mine, oh, it looks to be the same way. Interesting. This one, you can't control what you're getting, so it's bringing us a little bit of everything, and I'm okay with that. So the storage barn is full. If you recall, I was whining about that in the last episode. Alright, furnace fuel we're going to need for more advanced buildings, but we can probably start doing that ourselves. I'll probably... furnace fuel, maybe mid-30s I'll switch to that. I'll start doing stuff like that. We're getting there. Stone tools would be going the wrong way. Copper, firewood, roof tiles. These homewares would be nice because they're complex to make. So let's see if we can get... I don't know how many of them we can afford, but let's see if we can... Okay, we can afford them. Go ahead and get those traded for. There's some advanced buildings that we won't even think about until we get to the Colonial era. Our food is at 40,000, so we don't really need to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and have people collecting for food in these areas that we have people living nearby, and we have laborers. You've probably heard me say this 1,000 times by this point in the series, but you can go through and mark for gathering often. Okay, you can do that very often because new things grow. You'll also hear me repeatedly say not to do that within the range of where you have a gatherer's hut. So we've got 2 people who are employed here. I mean, look at this. 2 people. They brought in, what is that, over 1,500 food? So they're really helping to keep the settlement alive. So we don't want to mess with that. Another merchant. Trade pigs and trade bison. Adios. No interest at all. So this chapel is maxed out. You know, this is our medieval era chapel. We're not quite ready for colonial era buildings, so we don't want to build anything too crazy. But that might be something to begin considering, is what kind of worship buildings we want to add. Man, look at this downtown, huh? That's pretty impressive for this point in where we're at. I think I'm going to go ahead and stone this main drag here and this main drag here, because this is all done. Maybe we'll get this street. I don't know. That seems a little silly. Let's do that, because that's like essentially a city block. I don't know why that road goes there. It feels a little out of place. But we'll probably do another street here of these facing this way. Maybe more commercial buildings. Probably a few more commercial buildings here. With the logic being, you know, stuff comes in on the dock and then they turn it into commercial goods. So let's bring a dirt road down here and bring that up to the church. Spin around. I'd like to do no, why is it? I don't know why it does that sometimes. I'd like to put, just for something unique, just for something different. I know this won't be everybody's preference, but I think what I'm gonna do is put in an orchard. I'm going to put in an orchard here. And an orchard here. Did I get those right? Yeah, it looks like it. And then we'll put a road along here. Oh, dang it. No, I didn't get those right. Let's try that again. Just in case people aren't aware, you don't actually pay anything for a building until the workers bring the stuff to it. So I didn't lose anything by doing that. Anyways, this orchard is going to be like in between these sets of bigger houses. If you remember, I don't actually need more housing. When we looked at that, it showed us we don't really need more housing, but I am going to put in one more row of these. And we determined last time, I'm pretty sure that that's on the right-hand side. So we will put 1, skip, 2, skip, 3, skip. Oh, the road's there. Okay. I guess we'll just get 3 on this side. So, okay, and here's where we're gonna... I don't like to do this on this kind of series. I do this more so if I'm, like, really trying to build a lot. But, so we got that one in. Skip 1. Get this one in. Skip 1. So we can fit 4 there. So we'll go ahead and pause these first floor buildings so that they don't start them. These are ready to go. So maybe we'll do 1 as plums and 1 as peaches. And now let's do second floor. Let's do the 3 here, the 0 there, and the 0 there. And for this side, let's go with 2, 2, 2, 2. I like for them to all have roofs going the same way, like that. So, alright, the reserve of stone is low. Why are they doing that? Oh, maybe they're just bringing the materials? I'm not sure that's supposed to happen, but okay. I'm trying to think what would make sense for, like, a courtyard. Like, what could we put around here? I want to say that there's a musket range. Do they have something else? Cannons are the wrong time period, but we'll remember those for the Colonial era. Maybe, no. Do we have anything? Tents don't really make sense either. Oh well. Alright, so one thing I want to clear up, I don't know how many people are, still... Why are they... Oh, they're building the second floors. I forgot to pause the... whatever. Okay, well then let's unpause the first floor. Let's get these second floors paused at least. I'm an idiot. I didn't even think about that. Unpause. 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 Anyways, I wanted to clarify for some folks who may not really understand how I'm playing this series. I'm not trying to win the game. Okay, I don't have a goal of accomplishing something specific. All right, I'm not trying to have a bunch of gold or anything. My purpose in playing this game this way is to talk about history and to demonstrate some of the things that the MegaMod has. Pigs. They keep bringing me pigs and then a bunch of trade version of the other animals. So what I'm trying to get at here is that, like, you know, let's do a little fun camera work here. Let's come down the river. You know, we've got the medieval section of town. Here's kind of a commercial area. It's just right now has a bakery, some butcher shops, a mill. Eventually we'll put a few more industrial buildings in this area as we get closer to the colonial period. Like this area and this area, I'm sure will be full of production buildings, and we'll continue to fill in housing around, probably bring them straight down along here and continue to bring housing out this way. We have this market here that's going to allow us to bring housing all the way out this far, and then we'll reevaluate whether we want to do more housing this way or go a different direction with it. We already have a bridge across here. We may start more agriculture up in this area soon. But this is why it's important for us to keep on our vital stats. Tools are getting in a rough place because we don't have iron. We're not able to keep up with our iron. We're only bringing in 4, 5, 6, that and that one, about 20 to 30 a year from that one. So they're bringing out straight iron. They're not bringing iron ore that we're changing into iron. So what we can look at is how to make iron into iron ore. There's a coal furnace, which I assume is to make charcoal, which might be a good thing to add in this stage. Let's try that. We'll put one of those in and see how that works. The greenhouses, I think, will be a little more towards the colonial. Yeah. We'll save those. But yeah, let's look and see what kind of iron processing we can get into here. There may be like a forge. We've got this medieval blacksmith we already built. Can the medieval blacksmith? No, can't, which doesn't seem right. A medieval blacksmith would spend, I would think, some of their time creating the iron to begin with. Okay, so here's a small iron smelter that could go here beside the blacksmith. That's a very real possibility. So we'll keep that small iron smelter in mind. A hardware store, build a smithy. Logs low. I just marked for logs. Well, we built all those houses. I'm sure that's why. Okay, so we'll just have them gather some trees down here. We already pulled some from that area, so I don't want them to get too crazy, but I also don't want them having to walk too far to get them. So we'll get some out of here. Oh, there's some stone stuff. Mark that too. Anyway, sorry about that. So back to this problem. We come in here again. I know this is a little bit small on your screen, but hopefully you can still see. It's under this Refined Resources tab, and then Smithing, Tools, and Metalworking. We could do a Village Blacksmith. This one looks a little bit too colonial for my taste. For now, is what I mean. I can add it later. I'll be happy to add it later. The melting house looks pretty cool. But we traded for homewares, and we don't yet have that building supplies that we need. But this, I would say, I'm comfortable with building this for the medieval era. There's nothing in this model that looks too advanced for the medieval period. So I'm definitely open to that. The metalsmith, I'm not quite sure. This might be for more advanced things. I would assume this is probably like some of the colonial things moving up the chain, like jewelry and weaponry kind of equipment. I don't know for sure. So here's a, gosh, this is a terrible place to look at these models. Here's a metal forge. This one doesn't need to be on water. You can see there's a bellow here. And it looks like it uses a pulley system to bellow the flame to melt down your ores. I see stone. I see primitive wood. I do not see anything that would be too modern. So that could work. The foundry looks, again, stone. The shingle work might be a little bit too modern, but I don't know that that would discount it for me. I think just demand-wise, and because I don't want to step too fast, too much, I'm going to try the small iron smelter and see what that can do for us. So what does this do? Coal. So it's going to make charcoal out of wood, which we're actually kind of low on wood, so that might not have been the best decision. Before I check that delivery person, I want to go to this forester and double it up. There should be another one here. I'll double this one up, and there should be one. That's a hunter, right? Yeah, that's a hunter. We'll double this one up. And then we'll mark for more trees to be removed. And pretty soon we're going to be leveling all these trees and those trees. It's going to turn into an urban, much more urban looking area soon. Oh dear, we're in spring of 32. Strawberries and wheat. We already have wheat, and that's a lot for strawberries, which would be totally gratuitous at this point. So I'm going to say no thanks. All right, but to you all, I'm going to say thanks for watching. It's always raining when I'm about to sign off. I always want to give you a good picture, and it's always raining. But let's go with this. This is as good as any way to end. I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye for now.